to another edition of Cooking with Catalyst. We are on location in Kansas City, Missouri, in the kitchen of the one and only Sonia Brown. Sonia, welcome to the show.
Yay, thank you for having me.
Very excited. Now, what dish did you choose to cook with us today?
I chose to cook the dish Navajo tacos.
Why Navajo tacos?
Because it's a universal dish to where it expanded from not only from the Navajo people, but to other indigenous cultures throughout North America and Canada.
Well, I'm very excited to learn how to cook this dish. I love tacos, and I'm interested in this particular incarnation of them. So we're beginning with fry bread?
Yes, we are. It is adaptation from similar to what Spanish people create, so similar to sopapillas.
Oh, okay.
So the only difference is we don't add lard to the dough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So wait, how much are you putting in? Is this like a cup?
Actually, I don't really know because we're just taught to measure with our hearts.
Okay.
So
all right.
I would say maybe that's about 2 cups.
Okay. Ish.
And then you'll get baking powder, and that's about a teaspoon-ish. And then salt as well, and that's about a teaspoon as well.
So now you're just mixing it together.
Yes.
Okay.
Mix it together, so it's all incorporated. Sometimes they'll add like powdered milk to it.
Interesting. Okay, but we're not doing that today.
No, we're not doing that today.
Now, I'm assuming fry bread is something that goes back like thousands of years in Navajo culture. It's like a really, really old food.
No, it actually does not go back that far. It goes back to 1864 to...
Wait, 1864?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's associated with the Navajos when they were forcibly removed off of their land by the United States Army, and they were forced to walk from their land to Fort Sumner or Bosco Redondo, which is now New Mexico.
Wow, so that's several hundred miles.
Yes. So it's not even like a type of, it was rations that the Army provided to the Navajo people.
So like, again, flour, salt, water, like very basic. And so they
had to learn.
Just like had to figure it out?
Yes.
Wow.
And I think that a lot of too like influence from the their neighbors, the Mexicans.
Okay, sure, right.
Yeah.
But you already mentioned that, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of see that sort of inspiration there. Okay,
Yes.
so now you're adding.
So you'll make like a little well in the center of your dough, of your flour. Add hot water, and then just mix. And it's probably about a cup of water.
Okay. But again, as much as your heart says, right?
Yeah, as much as your heart. And you don't want it like sticky. You'll just add it until you feel it starting to come together and incorporate, but not be watery.
Okay.
So kind of like pizza dough. And you actually have to knead it until the dough does no longer stick to your hand anymore. And that usually probably takes about 5 minutes. And then once you're done kneading, you'll know when you're about done, when it starts to, the dough doesn't start to stick to the bowl, and it's starting to not stick to your hand.
That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, so you'll know it's done. So I should probably knead it for a little bit, but we'll stop here.
Okay. And then how long does it need to sit?
I'd say like an hour at least.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So set it aside for an hour, and I'm assuming then now we can use this time to prep everything else.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and so we'll start on the meat for the chili. And then you just basically, for your chili, it's just whatever your favorite recipe is.
Okay.
So, we use red chili from New Mexico, which I made the sauce earlier. So, and then we'll use that to season the meat along with the adding like salt, taste, and whatever.
Okay.
everyone makes it to how they like it. So it's just whatever your preference is of how you like your chili.
So, given that there's not, I mean, again, you're not working from a recipe. We don't have like the, the great Navajo cookbook open or something in front of us. Like this is a dish that you learned to make, I'm assuming, in community, like from your parents or from your...
Yes, and it was just, they never gave us instructions of like a teaspoon or a tablespoon of whatever sauce or spice. It was just whatever you measure with your heart. And if it doesn't taste right, just make it, add more things until it tastes how you want it to taste.
The dough has now been sitting for an hour because it's the good stuff.
Yeah.
So now what?
So now we're gonna pinch off a ball size about 2 inches wide. And then it's kind of sticky, so we'll just roll in flour. And then it's soft enough. I mean, I'm not advanced to where I can't flip the dough. But you just spread out the dough until it like forms a circle. And make sure your oil is hot, but not too hot.
Okay.
And cast iron is preferable because if you use like just to get the grease hot enough.
Mm.
And so not too thin, but not too thick.
When your heart tells you it's ready?
Yes, it's always by your heart.
Oh,
And then when it's
fried.
lightly brown like that color, then flip it.
So it cooks really fast.
Yeah, it does.
And there you go, there's fry bread. So this is it, we finished. We've got the fry bread, we've got our chili here in the crock pot ready to be spooned out. Lettuce, cheese, a lot of this stuff, it feels very Southwestern to me. Lettuce, cheese, the sour cream, the onion, the tomato and avocado, and then tell us about this salsa.
Oh, the salsa is, we started a garden over the summer, so it's the tomatoes and chilies from our garden to make the salsa.
And I'm guessing if I asked you for a recipe, you would say you just made it from your heart.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So walk me through this. What do I need to do?
Okay, so the first thing that you would do is you would get a fried bread, put
Okay.
it on the plate,
Okay.
and then you would scoop out the beans, only not getting the juice, but just the meat and cheese, or the meat and beans. It's not like the Mexican tacos.
Oh, I'm not gonna fold this.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know. All right. Oh my gosh.
So, we like to put cheese on next so it can melt on the beans and meat. And whatever condiments that you want on top is just your preference.
I want all the condiments is my preference. I like to watch a lot of cooking shows, obviously. I'm not just a host. And one of the things the judges always say on the shows, on the fancy ones, which makes me roll my eyes every time, is that this is you on a plate, or this tastes like a story on a plate. And I honestly never really understood what that meant, but I get it here because as I am building this, I'm looking at all of the different pieces of Navajo history that are here on this plate. I mean, you told me about how the fry bread is something that the Navajo innovated. Like it was a way of not just survival, but turning a real oppression literally into food, like into life.
Yes. And ironically, even through the oppression, it's not the healthiest of food, but it's just whatever rations that were provided was just
something that they had to make do in order
Yeah,
to
yeah, and they figured it out,
Yeah.
innovated. Same thing with all of this chili mixture. I mean, I just have to imagine that, like, if you went to any native gathering anywhere in the country where this is being served, like, you're going to get a little bit of a different, like, flavor that's a reflection
of the community.
of, like, yeah, wherever they are, right? Which is, again, I just think so cool. And then, as I was mentioning, you know, the Navajo people are from what is today Arizona, you know, and this is very much a Southwest.
It is. It has a large influence of the Southwest and the community that we are part of. So definitely salsa. I tried to make it mild, but it might be hot. So yeah.
I like spicy.
Okay.
So what do I just?
You can get out a fork and a knife.
Oh, okay. We're gonna do this. All
You
right.
can be civilized.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna dig in here. Oh man, that's really good. That's really good. It's really good. Sonia, thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you for coming and visiting us here.
Cut.